Hey friends, this is the Miss Wolfie from our Half Acre Homestead, and today we're making and canning broth. Canning season never really dies when you got stuff that starts going. This is 4 onions that were starting to go soft, 4 carrots that were starting to sprout. I'll tell you about the ingredients as I put them in, okay? Here is a freshly cleaned canning pot with about 2 gallons of water in it. This is vegetable, mostly celery, that I have saved in the freezer from the winter. I'm going to say, I don't know, a couple of pounds of that anyway. It's mostly celery. And then again, like I said, I've got 4 onions and 4 carrots that were starting to go, and I wasn't making anything anytime soon. Here's our big old turkey neck. And it's starting to get frosty a bit, so we're just gonna throw that in there. You guys know how much broth I use. I use it in rice. I use it in soups. I use it in stews. I'm gonna put in, I don't know, about a half a teaspoon of black peppercorns. This is all going to get strained, folks. None of the vegetable or meat matter is going to get used. This is pure broth. Put a nice bay leaf in there. Probably a half a tablespoon of salt. I use up pickling salt because it has no additives. So this is it. This is going to be our soup broth. Now, I want to show you that I haven't used these since the fall, so I take my rubber, I scrub everything out, I take everything apart and scrub it, and I soak my rubber gasket in hot water just to make sure it's softened up enough to do a good seal. We're just going to put our old canning lid on here, and we're going to bring this up to pressure. And when it starts to spout a steady stream of steam, we'll let it vent for 10 minutes, and then we are going to can this for 90 minutes. Now, people will say that's overkill. But the thing is, 90 minutes makes sure you get all the nutrients out of any bones, all of the nutrients. What's going to be left behind that we strain out is pretty much going to be inert crap. So we're going to put this on high and wait for it to come up to pressure. Okay, our canner has been spouting a steady stream of steam for 10 minutes. So I'm going to put our 10-pound weight on here. And as soon as that begins to jiggle, I'm going to set my timer for 90 minutes. There it is. Alrighty. So now we're going to turn this down. Okay, 90 minutes. Okay, this has been pressure cooking for 90 minutes, so I'm just going to turn the heat off, and we're going to let this cool naturally. All right? What that means is when this little bobble goes down, and you can put your hands on the sides of the canner to the count of 5 Mississippis without it being uncomfortably hot. That's when you can open the canner. Okay, here is our broth. We're going to strain it into this stock pot. Now, I'm going to put a clean tea towel through here because I don't want any of the debris. Oh, I wish you could smell this, folks. We're just going to let that drain and drip. Now, canning broth is really simple, folks. It's just a matter, there's no debubbling because it's liquid, and there's no salt because we added a little bit when we were cooking it. And today, of course, we are using our 4 jars canning lids. These are my favorite lids. I have lots of Bernardins and stuff, but these are 4 millimeters thicker than any jar on the market, and they're made with stainless steel. Check the link in the show more info box below this video for your link and your coupon code for 10% off. So let's get started. Here's my small canner because I'm only going to do probably 6 jars, and if I have any left over, well then maybe I will do a 7th. But I have 6 jars set up for now. Here's our broth. Here's our recommended amount of water in our pressure canner with a shot of vinegar to keep the jars from clouding up because I'm on well water. Here are our 4 jars lids, 5 regular and 1 wide mouth. Here's our rings. Everything's ready to go. And here's how we go. Now I have a piece of paper towel that I've dipped in vinegar water. You don't necessarily have to use a funnel, but I like to use a funnel. It just keeps things tidy. God bless the woman who said don't use a ladle, use a measuring cup, and then you can hang it on the side of the pot when you're not using it. 1 inch from the top. And just like that, see? All right. We're going to wipe our jar rim. Get our clean hot lid on there. It's just been sitting in warm hot water, and into the canner that goes. I'll tell you something, folks. You've seen how much I use broth in making rice more nutritious, in the bases of soups and stews. There we go. It's just something, you know, like my potato soup. When I was a kid, if we were really broke, Mom made that potato soup with onions, potatoes, water, salt, pepper, and some skim milk powder. But if you've got a jar of broth to start your potato soup, it just adds to the nutrition, doesn't it? All right, we'll be back when I get the rest of these in the canner. Okay, we got 7 quarts of that beautiful vegetable and turkey broth. Now, the reason I'm mentioning the turkey neck is because if this was straight vegetable broth, we wouldn't have to can it for more than probably 45 minutes or 40 minutes. I haven't checked. But because we had meat in there, it has to be canned as meat. So, we're going to bring this up to temperature, and when it starts to spout a steady stream of steam, we're going to vent it for 10 minutes, and then we're going to put our 10-pound weight on. Now listen, folks, if you live 1,000 feet or more above sea level, please, please, please check your manufacturer's directions for your canning times, and weights may change. All right, so we'll be back when this is spouting a steady stream of steam. And when I say a steady stream of steam, it's not spurting steam, it's going psh. That's a steady stream. That's when you start to time it for 10 minutes. Okay, our timer has gone off, and we're going to put a 10-pound weight on here, and as soon as that produces its first vigorous jiggle, we will set the timer for 75 minutes because there was meat in it. Okay, we've had our first vigorous jiggle, so I'm going to turn this down to just around medium, and I'm going to set my timer for 75 minutes. Which is 1 hour and 15 minutes. Turn the heat off, and we're going to let this cool naturally. All right? What that means is when this little bobble goes down, and you can put your hands on the sides of the canner to the count of 5 Mississippis without it being uncomfortably hot. Okay, this is totally cool to the touch. I let it sit overnight. The bobble is down. We can touch the sides comfortably. Remember, folks, letting the canner cool naturally is a part of the canning process. Look at that. Beautiful broth. And since they're cool enough, they can come right out. Look at that. Turkey broth. Well, mostly vegetable. And one thing I love about these lids is even the large mouth really, really hold a beautiful seal. 7 quarts of wonderful jars of turkey vegetable broth. This is the Miss Wolfie from our half-acre homestead saying, if you've got scraps or wilted things or a frozen turkey neck, none of that has to go to waste. Make broth. Take care, God bless.